Hi, Facebook friends. Helen Archontou here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. So happy to have some time with you today. My pronouns are she, hers, her, and it is Tuesday. It's hopefully everyone's kind of getting acclimated back from a long weekend. Many people celebrated Thanksgiving holiday. And I don't know about the rest of you, but if you're in the New Jersey area, it got really cold really fast. And I know, one of the things that happened is Thanksgiving felt a little bit more like holidays that happened later in December because of the cold. And so it very quickly, brought us into that festive season. And, sometimes with that, festive season, we're very focused on decorating and keeping a lot of, beautiful colors and bringing some life, back into our homes and around because so many of the trees start to get barren and bare because of the cold. So we thought this was a great opportunity today to be talking about arrangements of floral arrangements and, ways to bring that life, into your holiday season, into your festivity, and at the same time introduce you to a wonderful women business owner that's in our community that I thought it was a great opportunity to be having a conversation about the work that she does, but also to get a sense about how she built her business and some of share her story as well. So with that, although we're going to jump into talking about the flowers and the blooms and all those important things, I want to introduce you to today's guest, who is Anna Coy. She is the designer. Hi, Anna. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This is exactly what we were supposed to be doing at 11 a.m.
Absolutely. And it's definitely, it's nice to take a break from eating, right?
Oh my gosh, don't even.
And do something, although we've had a lot of great guests on showing us dishes to make and ways to celebrate in that way. Having flowers around us is also, a wonderful way to feel that, festivities and the celebrations. So for our viewers, Anna is the designer and owner of Blooms in Hand, which is located in Verona, New Jersey. And again, we know that flowers are essential. They really evoke emotion and they're just so beautiful to look at. And, even the symmetry of them, it's just, to me, it's always, like a piece of art just living right there in your home. It can really help you shake a bad mood, make you feel very joyful, and really light up and enhance any room when it's just feeling like a little blah. Just give it a pop, almost like rearranging your furniture without doing any of the work, and just adding this beautiful piece that you can change up. And so we love this conversation today because it allows for all of that. But let me tell you a little bit about Anna's background before we jump into all of this. As I said, she's a professional floral designer, and she's the owner of the award-winning full-service floral studio Blooms in Hand that's located in Verona, New Jersey. She has a background in fine art and a bachelor's in fine art in sculpture and furniture design. And Anna began her career working as a floral designer at a number of high-end studios, as well as assisting in event design companies up and down the East Coast. And through this work, she had the opportunity to learn from so many talented designers. And now she gets to claim the claim to fame of being one as well. And if you're not following her on social media, you should. And so that you get the opportunity to see her tremendous work. I know I've been following for some time and been a fangirl, and so much beauty in what she creates. She launched Blooms in Hand as a bouquet subscription service in Essex County from her home in 2016. And now it evolved, and she operates from a design studio offering still her bouquet subscriptions, classes, workshops, event florals, and hospitality design with a full team of talented designers. And she's been awarded Best of Essex by Suburban Essex Magazine, Best of Montclair by Montclair Magazine, and Best of Morris and Essex from Morris and Essex Health and Life. And she's incredibly grateful to her clients and the community that has really embraced her floral creations. So that's such an exciting evolution, Anna. So I know we want to talk.
You read that, I'm like, well, I guess we did do a lot.
Yeah, I know. I love reading people's bios.
Because it's like I don't really think of it until you see it on paper. You're like, well, I guess we kind of have done quite a bit in a short amount of time. So
absolutely,
it's nice to hear it out loud.
Yes, it is nice to hear it out loud. And I always say it's one of those things that a lot of, especially women, right? We're always like, oh, stop, like we don't want to but I always tell people to soak it in because you did all of that work. And, and I'm thinking about the time frame of when you did it also. I mean, you did a real kind of business evolution and business growth in some difficult years.
Yeah, it's been a crazy thing because I kind of set out without a set business plan. So I didn't really see where my company was going to begin to where it is now. It's been like kind of a constant evolution, and like flowers, it's been kind of like organically growing. I've just kind of always moved along with that and kind of see where things take us. We've had to do a lot of pivoting and shifting the way we do business, but thankfully, the way my business runs anyway was kind of, except for that during the shutdown, was kind of pandemic safe because we offered no contact deliveries prior to that. So our subscription service hadn't really had to stop, and just the way we did our classes and our workshops and things, all of that had to shift. But it's just constantly being a creative thinker and changing and rolling with the punches as they come.
Yeah, well, and I mean, how fortunate that you were set up in a way, to be able to, be flexible and move around with the absolutely unexpected time that presented itself, in front of us. But I think, one of the things that's so unique, and, I want to shout out Social New Jersey, which is how, a part of how I, connected and met Anna, which is hope to have on as a guest soon, Mary Beth, who runs that business. And, what I love about that too is, and you're part of this whole network of women business owners that really, work together collectively to kind of, you're almost like puzzle pieces is how I think about it, and that, together you make this like full piece for, for people.
Each other along. I mean, when you have a bunch of, the amazing thing about the area in which we live, we are surrounded by a treasure trove of knowledge and people with like creative thinking and just out of the box minds. And you get a bunch of these like women that are gearing their business in a whole new modern way of looking at things. And then you've got an idea from someone else that you hadn't thought of. And then you kind of work together to kind of create these interesting opportunities for everybody. And it's great that you can kind of do it together, so you're not kind of like alone on a boat. It's kind of nice to know you can always reach out with questions or just kind of reach into your bag of resources to kind of, pitch an idea or just kind of talk through some things.
Yes, and I love that. And I love what a supportive network that you have of each other. And, that's something that we really try to promote, through our Women's Leadership Conference and our Women's Empowerment Network at the YWCA, is helping women create that circle, introduce them to other women business owners that are either doing similar businesses where you can work in collaboration with each other, or totally different businesses, but your life circumstances are similar enough that you can learn and support each other. And, I'd love for you to share a little bit, because I think, again, one of the pieces of doing YWT that I love and lifting up women business owners is, helping create models for other women to listen and hear and learn from. You're a working mom, you made this kind of, you embrace this business that I would say is not, I don't want to say the norm, but it's definitely outside of the box of what a lot of, folks do. And, because it's your own business, you're always doing it, but being a mom, you're always doing that too. So how do you balance those two? I always laugh that that word doesn't exist really, but whatever, we'll use it. You know, how do you balance those two, and what strategies have you learned to help manage your personal and professional life successfully?
Um, it's sometimes more successfully than others.
Yeah.
I think when I started my business, I was pregnant. So um, my business is the same age as my daughter. So from the beginning, it was constant. Like I was in business for less than 6 months, and I had a newborn, and I went on what my, you're a business owner, you don't really get maternity leave, but I took a few weeks while we got our like footing and stuff with motherhood, which was crazy. I feel like if you're starting your own business, you have the opportunity to make your business work for your needs and your family. I made the decision that when I started my business, that it would work not as a walk-in business, like a normal storefront. We are a design studio, so we're by appointment. So if I don't have orders or something to do, I don't have to be here that day. I'm not, confined to this shop because we have to be open 9 to 5. And that schedule that has worked very well for me and majority of my staff, who are all mothers, parents, doing other things. So we're out of here before pickup for our kids. And then at night when we have classes, we take turns kind of coming in, and I'll teach classes at night, and, trade off with husband at home for bedtime duties. It's a constant struggle. I mean, business owners work all the time. I mean, I'm answering emails late, you're working on proposals and this, that, and the other. There's really no off the clock. You really are on all the time, but it's up to you to set boundaries. And I'm still have to say, I think in most business owners would say that it's hard to have those. I mean, you don't want to say no, you don't want to turn away business. So that's the constant struggle. But I feel like for people that are looking to start your business, think about what kind of lifestyle is important to you, what hours are important to you, and try to structure what you're doing into that frame. And if you can kind of hold to that. I mean, I started out only delivering 2 days a week, and now we're delivering every day. So, I mean, you got to grow with everything and kind of make your decisions. But that's the way I've structured my business, is primarily how I think we've maintained our level of success up until now. And hopefully in the future.
Yeah, no, and so one of the things I'd love to ask you, because I know so many of these small business owners that we work with in our circle struggle with this piece. So when did you go to moving to including a storefront into your subscription service? Because that's a really big, like, responsibility and add-on, to a business. And people sometimes are trying to figure out when's the right time to do that, and how do you know it's the right time to do that?
Yeah, again, I didn't have a set business plan. I've been lucky enough to where I've built my business to be, I don't have a lot of overhead. I buy what we need. We sell what we have. We don't have a lot of inventory sitting around. It's a constant flow. Flowers come in, flowers go out. Flowers come in, flowers go out. So I didn't have any real. We were profitable from the beginning. That's the key. I mean, if I didn't know we were going to be profitable, I wouldn't have done it. I mean, it's a scary leap to take on a rent that you have to pay every month in utilities. Right. Another internet, another gas bill, another, all that adds up. I was at home with a 1-year-old, and I was working in the studio, and I got the 1-year-old like messing around with flower stems on the floor and roses, and I'm stepping over my delivery drivers carrying boxes, and like stepping over my daughter. I'm like, we need space. Like, this is not working. This does not work anymore. Once we started getting more subscribers and our database grew a bit, it just was like, we have more, we need more room. And I lucked out in finding this great little studio space in Verona, and it's been home to us since. And I'm very fortunate that because we're not we're in more of a residential area, it's perfect for us because we don't have walk-ins. So
Yeah.
it really was a matter of the right place, the right time. It was terrifying, and still at the time, I remember thinking, like, am I making a huge mistake? But I said, we'll try it for 6 months and see how it goes. I mean, I'm like a hermit crab. Like, my shell only wants to get bigger. Like, it would be hard for me to go from this and go back small again. So, whenever you want to get that next step and go a little bit larger, you have to make sure that that shell is the right fit for you, or is it maybe you just need to wear the shell you're in for a little while longer?
Right, right, right. That's great. And for our viewers, I just want to make sure that you note in the comments here, we have bloomsinhand.com, the website, so that you can connect and see more and learn more about Anna's business and know how to get in touch with her. And Anna, just remind, we have at Blooms in Hand is how they can connect with you on Instagram. And I know you're on Facebook also. So, make sure that you connect with Anna in all of these places and spaces. And I have to say, I appreciate you saying that you had no business plan, because we spend a lot of time, bringing in experts that are talking to our business owners about setting everything up, perfectly, right? So that, you can launch. And I know it doesn't always happen that way. So, for those people that maybe, what's the pros and cons of jumping in the way that you did?
Probably, not knowing if it was going to work. I mean, I think, I didn't really even do a lot of research. I had this idea when we moved to the area that a floral subscription business might be something clients in this area might be interested in. I know a lot of people commute into the city, and I know a lot of people are running here to there, and maybe don't have time to get flowers themselves, but want them in their house. So I kind of posted a couple of questions out there on like local Facebook groups, and I had a big response right from the get-go of people that said, "Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, sign me up." And then some of those clients 5 years ago are still my clients now. And it's research beforehand is very smart. You want to make sure that what you're bringing to the table is something somebody really may want. It was nice that my first week in launching, I already knew I had people signed up for it. And it kind of grew since. I'm also tend to be a little outgoing, so I wasn't shy about getting out into the community to get to know people. And I'm all about supporting small businesses as well. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no competition. Some of my best friends are other florists in the area with their own companies. And, it's important to build a community of people that you can help look after each other. Sometimes you're in a bind and you need help. So you call in another friend, and it's important to build those relationships. That definitely is everything.
Well, I love that that spirit, and that's obviously the spirit that we have at the YW, is that it's all about relationships and creating that circle and network, in all our different roles and places. So let's get back to the blooms, to the I see all these pretty pieces behind you, and so I know you do a lot of great classes also, and that people can we'll give people some ideas about some of the things that they can do at home to kind of make the holidays a little festive. But I just want everyone to know, go to Anna's website. She's always offering different classes and different opportunities for you to learn from the master herself. And, if you're like me, you might have a vision for things, but your hands don't work the same way as your mind does. But, she will help teach you, key tricks to, really make your arrangements pop. So give us some ideas for the holidays.
Sure. Okay. So I'm going to make, our classes are so much fun. So you don't have to worry about not having any experience. When you walk out, you'll have a beautiful table piece or whatever we're creating that night for your home. Oh my gosh. Talk about self-care. I need a haircut so badly.
I feel it there.
This is the problem too. No time. There's self-care. There's no self-care.
That's a different episode. Yes.
That's a whole different episode. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to make like a quick centerpiece at your home. The nice thing about winter, and I'm going to make a holiday themed centerpiece. Obviously, we're in the middle of it now. December hits, it's might as well full steam ahead till New Year's.
Yeah.
I like evergreens, and it's a perfect time of year. So when you get your Christmas tree, or if you trimming stuff in your yard or whatever, that's a perfect time to like cut some pine or save the branches from the bottom of your Christmas tree, and you can use those greens to decorate around the house. Like put some on your mantle, you can scatter some on your table, and they look really nice, and it smells great too. I've got some pine cuttings here, and I've got a white vase, and I am using floral foam because I want this to stay where I'm putting it so I can like hold it up and show you. I'm going to cut my floral foam so it fits nice and snug into my container. It's going to make things work really nicely, and it's going to keep my evergreens nicely hydrated, so then they'll last until the holidays.
And so where do we get floral foam? If you're not someone who normally does something like this, and I love watching you because it looks like you're cooking right now, but where do you get floral foam if you're not, it's not something you normally...
Normally you can get it at Michael's, but I have to tell you that there is a worldwide shortage of floral foam now. And you used to be able to get it at Michael's or even the dollar store. You can also use like floral tape and do like a little grid across the top, like a toe pattern, and that's going to help hold your stems in too. But this is what I made, kind of like a little cross pattern of my foam. First thing I always do when I design my centerpieces is I start with my greens. I can create the shape of the arrangement, and then I can really make it the right size that I want it to be. I'm going to start cutting up my evergreens into small, more manageable tips, usually about 6 inches or so. I make a nice little pile. That way I can just kind of pull from that pile and use them quickly. I apologize for leaf blowers. They never stop.
Yes, leaf blowers are definitely a thing. Yeah.
That's the problem about having your business in a residential area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start using my evergreen tips, and I'm going to start to work those around my container a little bit. And these can be a little haphazard. You don't have to be so structured with these. So this is kind of accident proof. You can really just make something really easy breezy and just kind of work those stems right in. Now that floral foam is going to keep everything hydrated, but you do want to add water to your vase as well. And you just stick these stems in, going around the vase. And this can be any. It could be a ceramic square. It could be, a glass compote, something like that. Candy dish actually looks really cute too. I'm going to start to pop in my other kinds. I've got spruce, and I've got some really pretty Fraser fir in here. Sometimes if you get your Christmas tree, you can ask for extra cuttings, and they will give you extra cuttings at no charge, and you'll have to be stocked up for the whole holiday, and you can just not spend a dime on them.
That's great. Wow, it's already filling in so quickly.
Yeah, it goes, once you start to pop everything in, it really does start to fill in really nicely. I'm going to start to go around my edge a little bit, and this is where you want to start to hide your mechanics, is what we used to say. That way you don't see kind of how everything's in there. It's just in there nicely. The next one I'm going to add in, this is really pretty. This is called Western Cedar. It's got like a drapey kind of look to it, but it's really pretty. And I love the way this looks when you pop it, like when you stick it in, so it kind of hangs over the edge a little bit. Gives it kind of a Victorian look to it, and it's got more really nice natural movement. Let me put this one on the other side. And I work my way around. I'm working on a Lazy Susan. It really makes it nice, easy, quick movement to keep everything spinning around. Pop it. Put another one over here. I always say pop it in. I don't know why I say that.
Well, I can see too the way that it's draping. I mean, you actually have a very pretty vase there, but it's really kind of filling it up so that you don't even have to see what it is because it's falling over.
Yeah, I mean, you can use, like I said, a bowl works really well. Like you can get a nice little casserole dish, and if you want, like if you're feeling gifty, you can always pick up a really pretty casserole dish or baking dish and then create an arrangement in it for somebody, and then they can use the container afterwards.
That's so nice. That's
Next
a great
thing I'm going to start to add in. So this is called Magnolia, and you can pick up Magnolia bunches and things like that. Also, we sell evergreen bunches on our website. So if you want to order a bundle of just greens to play with, you can always place an order, and we can have them all set for pickup or delivery. I'm going to put these leaves in individually, and I can actually cut the the leaf at a little angle, and then you can just stick that leaf right in. And magnolia holds up beautifully. This will last through the holidays as long as I keep it nicely hydrated. Almost there. This one came out. I have a couple of foliages here I'm going to use that are actually more for floral arrangements than evergreens. This is called salal leaves, which is actually like a lemon leaf. Most flower shops carry this. Sometimes you get at Trader Joe's, Whole Foods will have bunches of greens. I like to mix some regular floral greens in with my evergreens. Creates a little bit of height, and I can actually add a little bit more fullness in and add some more dimension into my shape. Put some on the side. On the back side. So you'll see we kind of have, like, I just poured water out.
Yeah.
A nice full arrangement.
You see that? Beautiful.
Yeah, it's getting there. Now we got to go in with our flowers. It goes greens, flowers, and then our decorative elements for holiday centerpieces. I'm moving awfully fast, but you guys definitely do not need to. I've got some flowers right here that we're going to use, and I'm using traditional reds, whites, and greens. But you can also use whatever colors you like. I love pink arrangements for the holidays, like fuchsias and light pinks and like silver balls and pine cones. I think they look great. I'm going to start with my largest flowers first. So I'm going to start with my rose. This is called Hearts. It's a beautiful red rose. And you don't want to put these straight up and down. You kind of work them in at a little bit of an angle, because that way you'll see it from the side and not just up and down. If this is going on your dining table, you're kind of looking at an arrangement and not like on top of it.
On top, yeah, that's true.
You want to cut your roses at a nice angle. And then you're creating like a triangle shape. So you'll see we have 1, 2, and then 3. We're going to go in with our next flower. This is a standard white mum. I don't like mums in large quantities, but I think they look really pretty nestled into our green. That little pop of white is really pretty. I'm stripping all my leaves off because you want a nice clean stem in your water. When your stems have leaves and they're in the water, it can create bacteria, which is going to shorten the lifespan of your flowers. And one more on this side. So we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and then 3. So we're working in kind of a triangle pattern around the face. Now we're going to go in with berries. This is Hypericum berry. It's a really pretty berry. I use this in the fall and the winter. In the fall, I like the peach color, but in the winter, this red is really nice. Lasts a long time. They're actually not the flower. It's actually what's left after a flower. They're the hips of a flower once it blooms. The berries are just really pretty and add a nice little shiny texture to our arrangements that we're making. Next, we got one more over here. I'm going to put that last one in on the other side. Spin my arrangement around. Make sure we don't have any flat spots. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now, what I like to do is add in some fun kind of decorative elements. I've got pine cones, and if you have extra ornaments or old ornaments you don't use, they work great in arrangements. Like this is one of those shatterproof. They're really inexpensive. You can buy these in all different colors. I always take the little cap off, and then what you can do is if you have your trusty glue gun, you can stick a stick right into that hole. And then you're going to glue right around the edge. And then that is going to go into your arrangement. We'll set that off to the side to dry real quick. I've got a fun little plaid one we're going to work with. A buffalo plaid is really pretty. We're going to work that in next. I've got one more here. It's kind of like a shiny red. Put that last one in. I'm going to glue it. And by the time you get done gluing your last one, these first ones are going to be ready to go. Next, I have pine cones. Now, this doesn't have a stick, but we need to have a stick on it so it'll go into our arrangement and stay where I put it. What we are going to use, this, you can barely see this.
Oh, yeah, very thin. Yeah.
pardon my hands. I've got the most messed up hands from Thanksgiving still. So what we do, I've got a really thin wire, and you can buy it on spool. Spool wire works great. I'm going to take my pine cone, and I'm going to put my wire through the spokes of the pine cone and make like a U shape until it comes around the other side. And then I've got my stick, and I'm going to hold it right next to it, and then wind that around and just twist it. And then the nice thing is this is on there nice and tight, but you can angle your pine cone too, so it'll face different directions. You do a couple of those, and then I've got one more thing we're going to work with. Gonna wire. I had a job in high school where my job was I literally sat for 8 hours a day wiring pine cones, so I got very good at this.
I was gonna say that's a great talent you got there. You do it quickly.
I worked at this garden center so many years ago. And that was what, I mean, I did that and I made bows. Bow making is
that's a true art. Yeah.
All day making bows. All right, so I'm going to wire my last pine cone, and then we can start to tuck in those fun elements. Usually put my pine cones in. I like when you can see them kind of going at different directions. I think arrangements with just evergreens and pine cones look pretty too. So even if you just have those, I think that's still a beautiful arrangement. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to trim the stems on my holiday balls off a little bit lower so it kind of fits in and nestled in. These are a little taller than what we need. Get a little bit of shine.
So I see you stuck with your 3s all the way through with everything.
I did. I don't always. I'm actually going to throw off the symmetry off a little bit because I've got one more thing which I'm just dying to add in because I think it's the cutest thing ever. I found this like little owl. I know. It's like the sweetest. I'm not like a cutesy person, like little doodads and things, but like when it comes to holidays, I like love all of that stuff. So I have to find a way to put this little owl in. I think he's going to be so cute sitting in the top. So I'm actually going to glue a stick to him too. And I am going to stick him right in there. And I think he's going to look adorable, kind of like peeking out over our flowers. And he's also got that same buffalo plaid on his tummy that like the other one has.
Beautiful. And you did that so quickly. I mean, I think we haven't been doing this for more than 10 minutes, if that. And what a beautiful arrangement.
Thank you. So that's it. So basically, if you did something like this at home, you would just add water every couple of days, keep it somewhere cool. I mean, evergreens tend to get a little crispy in the house, but really, if this isn't going to drop needles, this is going to hold up really well.
That's wonderful. Wow. So folks, you saw it here. You saw how, Anna kept her symmetry up until the end there, but it filled out beautifully. And that's stuff that you can pull together. But I would absolutely recommend that you check out Anna's website and you see her classes because she does them throughout the year, holiday or no holiday. Flowers just really help your house look different without having to do too much effort. It just really, not to mention, just brightens everything up, especially this time of year when things are so barren outside.
Exactly. And we still offer our subscription service. So I know a lot of people like to gift subscriptions to other people. They're like, oh my gosh, my aunt, I never know what to get her. Flowers are a great thing. And the nice thing is our subscription is different every week. So no one's going to get tired of it because it's never going to be the same bouquet twice.
That's great. So everyone, if you want to learn more about her classes or one of her subscription options, again, go to bloomsinhand.com. We've got the link right here for you. And I really appreciate, Anna, you sharing your story a little bit and your journey and, giving us a sense of how you evolved your business and balanced, home life and made some of the big decisions about growth. We know that it's not easy.
True. If anybody ever has a question or wants to reach out for advice or just, wants an opinion, anything, feel free to email or give me a call. I'm always happy to chat. I mean, like I said, it takes a village to help raise families, and it also takes a village to help keep businesses going. And I think most small business owners are happy to lend advice to anybody kind of starting out.
Well, they sure are. And we're so grateful that so many of you have really embraced the YW as a vehicle to be able to get this information out to all the small business owners that we work with. And staying on the theme of It Takes a Village, today is Giving Tuesday, and nonprofits all around the country are probably flooding your emails with e-blasts, and your social media feed is probably full of people making requests. The YWCA is going to be no different. We're going to ask you to think about giving to our organization, helping support our mission. It's a great opportunity. You can connect on social media easily, both through our Facebook page or Instagram page. We have a fund development drive going through for Giving Tuesday that you can easily donate to, or you can go right to our website and donate directly. So please consider supporting the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. Or, if we're not your thing, we hope we are, but if we're not, there's so many great nonprofits, and we all survive, like the small businesses that we're talking about today. Everyone really survives by the circle that helps lift each other up and support us. So please consider making a donation today. And we hope you join us tomorrow for another great YWTV conversation. I'll be talking to Danielle Davenport. She's a personal chef, and we'll talk a little bit about her journey of starting her business, which is unique as well, a unique journey, and I think something that a lot of women will identify with, because of what motivated her to focus on the type of cooking that she does. So with that, Anna, thank you so much for spending this morning with us and giving us some ideas. And we do hope to be connecting with you again and working, make sure that we have you connected to our women's network, and that everyone's learning more about you and your work through the links that we have here in the comments. And we hope everyone has a great day. And thanks so much for spending the time with us. And what a beautiful, beautiful arrangement you made in no time.
Thank you. Enjoy the holidays, everybody. And if you're stuck, just give me a call.
That's great. Thank you, Anne. And leave it to a busy woman to offer help always. Take care, everyone.